A very good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, if I might ask you to take your seats, please, so we can get started with our event for this evening. Lovely, chilly winter's night in Nelson Mandela Bay, and it's been a fantastic turnout. Thank you so much for your support. These awards, I think, can be summed up in two words, for me: important and auspicious. And I'd like you to keep those words in mind, because they really are. These are not just common run-of-the-mill garden variety awards that are done for the hell of it, because it has to be done. What we've got here are the very, very best achievements on the field of play by some of the very, very best cricketers in our region and also in the country. And that's something we need to celebrate. And I mean beyond just the cricketing family or even the sporting family in our city. Maslow's hierarchy of needs has got self-actualization and recognition and reward right at the apex of the pyramid. That's what we're looking for. And that's what encourages us and causes us to reach further for more and to improve. And I have had the enormous privilege over the past 12, going on 13 seasons of being involved with this Warriors team. And I've absolutely loved every minute of it. I've loved watching you guys play, win or lose. I've loved having you in the studio to try and push a bit of publicity. And there's something I've also enjoyed about us being the underdog that always punches above its weight. We're the franchise that so far, and I hope it changes, but so far has been operating without a naming sponsor, without a stadium sponsor. And yet we're out there, we're winning trophies, we're being competitive. We're cranking out new players to play for the national side. It's something I'm enormously proud of as a resident of Port Elizabeth. I really am. And it's something I'd like to encourage you to be visibly proud about as well. If we push, I keep doing this on the P's, sorry. If we push the positive narrative as far as cricket goes, it will extend to sport in general. And from there it can permeate through to every other sphere of Port Elizabeth society. And when that positive wave starts building up momentum, collective prosperity will follow. There are more than enough examples all over the world to back that up. I'm going to call on Mr. Donovan May for the official welcome, and there are a few speeches that we'll be getting through before we move on to the awards. We've got a very interesting format for you this evening as well. We have Mr. Shafiq Abrams, who's joined us as team director. Nice to have him back in the fold as well. He's going to be on the couch, and for the winners, it's going to be about recognition, reward, and interrogation by Shafiq on the couch. But I'm sure it's something you're going to absolutely love. For now, though, just a bit of housekeeping. The men's and the ladies are right through the back, left and right, respectively. And if anyone still thinks it's kosher to smoke indoors, I'd be amazed. Smoking outside, please, guys. There are designated areas. But for now, for the official welcome, please would you join me in welcoming Mr. Donovan May.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite a cold evening, Port Elizabeth. I know that we don't have the snow that the other areas have got, but I think we are blessed with the nice weather, and hopefully it will rain like it's raining in Cape Town. The light is very bright here at the moment. Anyway, some people that get some fits, the light normally just hits them. Anyway, thank God I don't get fits. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think on behalf of the chairman of the board of Cricket Eastern Cape, it gives me a great privilege to be able to welcome everybody here tonight. And we have some very special guests here. But before I go forward with the welcoming, is Luthando Sipamla here tonight? Can you please stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Lutho Sipamla's birthday today. Can we please wish him happy birthday? Thank you, Luther, and don't ask me where I got it from, because your dad phoned me this morning to say it's your birthday and he's not coming anyway. Being a founder member of this company, Cricket Eastern Cape and the Warriors franchise itself, It gives me great pleasure to know how we have started. And I know that quite a few of the founder members has already passed on, and I think of Raymond Uren and Colin Wilson, and I'm not sure Robbie Mazzal, if he's still alive. When we formed this company in 2004, 2005, it was a major, major breakthrough in Eastern Cape cricket when we formed this franchise and how we got to the name of the Warriors itself. And this brand is still very, very strong. Yes, Darren, you mentioned underdog. It is good to be an underdog because, this is when we perform the best. We've had some great players play for us. We've had the likes of Mark Boucher, what's the other guy? Ashwell Prince, and also Jacques Cullis play for us. And those were the good golden years for the Warriors itself. Yes, like any team goes, it's up and down. But I'm extremely proud to still be part of this franchise and to see this franchise under the new leadership of the coach. Well done to Goz. I'm sure the judge will mention that later on. But we have some very special guests here tonight. We have got the stand-in mayor this evening, Retief Odendaal. Retief, can you please stand up? Because you're now the stand-in mayor for tonight. The mayor is not here tonight. The mayor, unfortunately, is out of town, but Retief will be standing in, and also Councillor Sijado is not coming yet. I'm sure that she will probably join us later on. And then we have got our city manager, Johan Mettler, a very good favorite and very good friend of the Warriors franchise. Thando Ganda, the border president, and also a director of Cricket Eastern Cape, and also a director of Cricket South Africa. Thando, it's nice to have you and your wife here. Thank you very much. And also, the judge, we have the judge, Ronnie Pillay, the chairman of the board, who will be up here later on. Then we have got Noxolo Kwazi, the director of sport. Thank you, ma'am, for being here with Charmaine Williams. It's always good to have you and your partner. Thank you very much, and for supporting the Warriors and supporting Eastern Province Cricket. Mark Williams, the CEO, and his beautiful wife. I actually asked Mark, what young girl did he bring here tonight? Because I know, Sadia always teases me about my young girls that I bring to my events, and I didn't decide to bring a girl here tonight. But it's also good, and Zach and his wife, our directors. I know some of them probably will be here later on, but it's good to have the players here. I know you guys have got a busy season ahead, and hopefully not the global T20, but the new 20 league will take off this year, and that we will have some of our players that will be participating in this new league. I know Thando Ganda sitting in CSA, and ourselves, we fight for these things and we hear about these things, and we want to make sure that it does take off this year. And I know it's a big payday for a lot of players, but it's worth it. It is worth every cent and every minute that you guys sweat it out there in the middle of the nets, and also on a Saturday and a Sunday. And the wives and girlfriends is here. I know your husbands and boyfriends is away a long time, and we sympathize with you. And I know there's a lot of babies being made. When the guys come and they go, you see women pregnant. But it's good. Something is good to see your husband and your boyfriend every now and then. But we want to thank you for also allowing these guys to participate and to bring sport alive to this province itself, and that is to East London and also to Port Elizabeth. We're extremely grateful to have a great team and a great bunch of players. I think you've got there's a good team. We have the spirit is good, and we're expecting great things from the team this year. So without further ado, please enjoy the evening with us as we celebrate the awards tonight of Cricket Eastern Cape or the Warriors franchise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Donovan. Folks, I neglected to mention at the introduction, we're doing something rather historic altogether here tonight. For the first time, one of the Cricket South Africa franchises, the Warriors, are live streaming the awards evening tonight on their Facebook page. So that's a nice groundbreaking little element from our marketing and tech team. You can give them a round of applause. And I can also assure the players that I've been very lucky to be offered to contribute more than just the noisy voice of the stadium that you've heard over the past decade. And I'll be assisting with some publicity work, which is going to see you guys on radio a lot more. We're going to have you online with a much bigger profile than before, and it's going to be really aggressive, but it's going to be done in a way that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And it's all for us to grow this very special brand that we know as the Warriors. Words of support now from our friend from the border, who is wearing his Cricket South Africa hat as he steps to the microphone. Please would you welcome Mr. Thando Ghana.
Program Director, Chairman of the Board, Judge Pillay, Directors of Cricket Eastern Cape, and Directors of both Border Cricket and Eastern Province Cricket, honored guests, players and your lovely partners, our sponsors and supporters, government officials from local, provincial, and national, especially Nelson Mandela Bay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Thando Ganda, from Alice. It's very cold there. Yeah, the mountains, the Winterberg Mountains are white, and you can imagine. So, hence, I'm not in a shed, you can see. If you doubt what I'm saying, ask Mfuneko Ngam. I'm here not as Border Cricket President, but I've been asked to come here as acting chairperson of the Cricket Committee at Cricket South Africa. So I will act as chairperson, that's what the president said, until the deputy president stop acting. Whether he comes back to be the deputy president or he goes to be something else, but that time is the time when I will stop acting as chairperson of Cricket Committee. Whether I'm the permanent chairperson or whatever happens, but then that time must come. I've been requested to come here and speak from a cricket committee at CSA, from a cricket perspective. So forgive me if I do not speak about what you expect from Cricket South Africa. But as a committee that is responsible for professional cricket in this country, we have been busy, amongst other things, with the National Team Performance Review Report that was done by a team under the leadership of Mr. Toby Mkyamzamshe. And that report to Cricket South Africa was a very important report because it spoke about a performance of the national team at some time around about 2014, 2015. And we were not doing good nationally. So, of importance in that report is the issue of the culture and the organizational culture that translates to our team culture and all the teams. And those teams include the franchises, that is the Warriors. They found out that when they asked the captain and the coach and the other players, what is it that they would love to achieve? They got different answers. One said, we would love to go and win a World Cup. One said, no, we want to go and be #1 in the world. The others said, no, we want to continue enjoying cricket. And perhaps that is why even today, we do not have a trophy from one of the World Cup tournaments. So this report was very important. So as Cricket Committee, we have been busy with that report, trying to to implement the recommendations of that report. Amongst the recommendations is the issue of how do we retain talent within this country. We know that some of our players, especially professional players, at some point in time in their career, they decide to leave our cricket. So us as cricket committee, we're working hard to try and change things around. Also, we want to involve our ex-players. These are people who have been playing their professional cricket. We want to involve them in our system and try and influence a 10-year-old boy, a 10-year-old girl, using the knowledge of the game, the experience of the game, and the influence of the professional players. This is what we are talking about as a committee. Secondly, we are also busy with the domestic cricket system structure review. That is, we have heard Mr. May saying he's a founder member of this franchise called Cricket Eastern Cape. And by then, when they found these franchises, they promised that this system will be making a lot of money. And they have not yet come up to say they were not telling a truth. And the system is not making any money, as the CEO. Hence, our team, Cricket Eastern Cape, is still without a sponsor. But the promise was that we will be getting more sponsorship and we'll be making more money. So as a committee, we are interrogating that report, and that report made several findings, 5 of them, which relates to transformation, leadership throughout the system, quality of coaching, bottleneck in the pipeline, access to quality playing opportunities for our players. We are trying our level best to meet with these findings. And in that report, they made 10 recommendations, which I will not touch on. But I would like to speak more about access to quality playing opportunities. When we speak about professional cricket, we speak about job opportunities. So it's something beyond just enjoying a game of cricket. Hence, as a committee, we said, Mr. CEO, whenever you are discussing or you are dealing with player issues, you must involve an HR expert, so that whenever we take decisions, whenever we intend to come up with changes or alterations, those experts will inform us whether we're doing it fairly to our employee, that is the players, or we are being fair enough to them. So that is what we are doing as a committee. Hence, now the ladies' cricket are being or are supposed to be treated equally with the men's team. We speak equity, and we are getting there. It will not be done in a day's period, but definitely we are getting there. So we expect that even in the affiliates, Mr. May, that we treat our ladies with more seriousness. Finally, as CSA, we have just held a successful cricket Indaba. And in that Indaba, we had a professional, a group that looked into our professional cricket. And those people, that group of people, came up with serious recommendations. And recommendation 1 was saying address the issue of women. Secondly, we must ensure effective development of black African players. Thirdly, we said we must create a unique SAA team culture, because if a player is playing in the SAA team, that player has got good chances must stand a good chances to go and play for the Proteas. And we said, we further said that we must ensure, Cricket South Africa must ensure that all franchises, they implement, franchises and affiliates, they implement the resolutions. Those resolutions are not up for discussion, Mr. Mayor. They are there to be implemented. Not in one day, of course, but they are there for implementation. Exciting to me amongst those resolutions, I see my friend is watching me with sharp eyes here, is the fact that we resolved that the franchise system, we must increase the number of teams. That is not up for discussion again, it's up for implementation by the board. If you increase those franchise teams, it's not about East London and PE, it's not about Boland and Western Province, it's not about Kimberley and Bloemfontein, but it's about our players and job opportunities. So to us, everything starts and ends with our players. So the players are very important. So everything that we do for our players. Hence, on behalf of that committee and on behalf of Cricket South Africa and Border Cricket and Cricket Eastern Cape, I would challenge everyone in this country, including our players, that instead of fighting about these things, we need to sit down, find one another, and make a meaningful contribution to cricket in the country and to cricket in all corners of this country. Whether it's professional or semi-professional or amateur cricket, we need not to fight, but we need to find one another. Lastly, Cricket South Africa, we made an undertaking that come November this year, come rain, come sunshine, we will deliver the T20 competition for the benefit of this country, for the benefit of Cricket South Africa, and for the benefit of our players. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thando Ganda. And I'm pretty sure that you may well be quoted in the morning press for those heartening words about T20 action this season. Next to the microphone, a word of support from our strategic partners at the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Retief, it looks as if you've got notes in your hand. I've got Nokolo Nkwazi to speak, or have we changed? Okay, it's scrum after the fly half, and Retief Odendaal, who's standing in for the mayor, who's unavailable. A few words of support.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One of the perks of being acting mayor is that you get a speechwriter, and they deliver a brown envelope to my office this afternoon, and I don't know, there was a little note added to that envelope, and it said, stick to the speech, you know finance, not cricket. So I don't know if that was Ethel or the city manager, but there was a clear message for me that I have to read my speech. And I could see when Darren was quoting Maslow, that the city manager was looking at me and he was thinking, don't go there, don't go there. So here's me sticking to this speech. On behalf of the Executive Mayor, Councillor Ethel Trollip, and the Mayoral Committee of the Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, thank you so much for the kind invitation to be present at this wonderful award ceremony and celebration of cricket prowess in our region. Warriors have consistently delivered cricket stars that have excelled and served Nelson Mandela Bay and South Africa well, and I'm very happy to be allowed to participate in this awards program, which will also spur on and encourage a new generation to earn us cricket glory. This evening, we do not simply celebrate the achievements of the sportsmen seated here. We celebrate cricket as a city and a region and a nation. It is teams like Warriors that help Nelson Mandela Bay grow its status as a top national and international sporting destination. Our city is truly changing its image through sport, recreation, and arts. We must remember that sport is not only a fun way to keep fit or a professional career for others. It is a vital platform to uplift our communities. A key aspect of celebrating your achievements, as we are doing here this evening, is that they reaffirm that cricketers from all communities can become champions, and that the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay and the broader province can be proud of and look up to them as role models. We cherish the good example every cricketer present here tonight is setting for their communities. Excellence in sports, academics, work, and community leadership is the new recipe for patriotism. Overcoming the many challenges we face will earn individuals and communities the accolades they deserve. On behalf of the Council and the municipality, I wish to express pride and joy in the achievements of the Warriors. You are true ambassadors for the wonderful sport of cricket. We congratulate you and celebrate your achievements regardless of whether or not you will be singled out for an award tonight. I trust that you will continue to achieve brilliance in your sporting careers. Enjoy and celebrate your success. Best wishes for your future endeavors. Congratulations to all of you, and long live the sporting legacy of the Warriors. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I just have one more man to call to the microphone, and I'd like to give him a big round of applause, please. He's become a fixture on the cricketing scene in the Eastern Cape, if not nationally. A word of support for the Warriors from our friend Judge Ronnie Pillay.
Not too sure what the protocol, but good evening. The acting mayor, the representative of Cricket South Africa, president of Eastern Province Cricket Board, officials of the Nelson Mandela municipality, in particular Charmaine Williams, who to us sports people is the face of the municipality and with whom we have a good relationship. I drove, and this is my cricket madness, I drove in cold weather from Grahamstown today at the insistence of Mark Williams. I'm sleeping alone tonight and it's cold. Yeah. But as I was driving, I was listening to some music, a compact disc by Zane Adams. Now, that might give an indication of how old I am. But if you people are listening to Tina Turner and Lionel Richie, then there's no reason why you can't listen to Zane Adams. And I was thinking also, what do I say in this address today? And at the time, were singing a song called Impossible Dream. Now, 3 or 4 years ago, one wouldn't have dared to think that the Warriors would have achieved what they did this year. And by the end of their last game, there was a sense of pride that I experienced. Because in that song, he talks about going or treading where the brave do not go. To do what is necessary when your arms are weary. And it reminded me of one game at Buffalo Park, where the Warriors took 2 wickets in the last 2 balls of the game to win it. And the other night, when poor Japan lost in the World Cup, was another example that reminded me of that game, where you don't give up. And Belgium came back from 2-0 down to win that game. And when I heard who had received prizes at Cricket South Africa, it increased my pride of the team. Now, something happened during the course of the year or the season, and I cast no aspersions on anybody. But there was a change of gear in the team. And they started to achieve. And they shared one trophy. They came second in another competition. And I say again, I'm proud of the morals they adopted. They were snookered. Otherwise, we'd have won that tournament as well. And I think we came 4th or 3rd, where we lost the game against basically the Proteas. It was a good show, guys, against the Proteas. I happened to meet some former members of the United Cricket Board who are stationed in Johannesburg and close to the Lions, who teased me about the Warriors and said, yes, sir, you guys haven't even had the end of the year function. Well, here we stand now. But let me tell you what my response was. Yeah, you guys were able to have it early because your season finished early. That was the end of the conversation. I'm told also that the sponsors or people we approached to sponsor speak of a lack of Proteas in our team. And at one stage I thought, oh, maybe, as was suggested to me, we should purchase some Proteas. I've had a rethink on it. I remember the times when this province, the city, produced the likes, and I'm talking post-94, the likes of Wessels, the Rushmares, the Pringles, the Pouches, the Ntinis, the Princes, 2 Petersons, and of course Gummy, Funeko Gum, to name a few. And amongst that lot, we had 2 captains, Wessels And some tend to forget this, that Ashwell Prince was the first black captain of South Africa in Australia, of all places, when Graham Smith was injured. He was hard done by, wasn't treated properly thereafter, because I think he should have retained it. But there was some other fancy excuse not to do so. I am on record, and nothing has changed, that under my watch, the Warriors will play their part in putting Port Elizabeth on the map and improving Port Elizabeth's, and probably, I don't want to forget East London, but we will put those two cities on the map where they belong. They've been shortchanged for a while now, and I find that unacceptable. I want to say also that we've appointed Mr. Rivash Goben as the coach for the next 3 years. And it's the first time in public that I want to congratulate him for taking on the job. He needs a round of applause. And a little later, we appointed as an assistant coach Mfuneko Gum. He too deserves a round of applause. I alluded to the question of buying Proteas, and I said that I had the rethink. We produced Proteas in this province before, and I see no reason why we can't do so again. And I'm a firm believer in homegrown products. And let us see how far we get with that. Rivas? And I think the coaching staff is going to play a role in doing that, because I honestly believe that the clubs and the schools, which is the cradle of our sport, need to buck up and start teaching fundamental cricket. Not this cricket that they hit sixes with heavy bats every second ball. Teach them test cricket. That's a fundamental. The 2020 and the one-day game comes after. Because you can't do those without the fundamentals. So let us resort to our old style and start producing test cricketers. It is my hope that we achieve or improve on our achievements this year, or this coming season, so that the other provinces get more jealous than they are today. And that is a source of pride for me. I walk around with my head up. And some people say I'm snooty. Well, I deserve it, don't I? My team has won a trophy, shared a trophy, come second. And they did well against the Proteas. John, to you and your team, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. And we hope that we can walk with our heads up higher than it was this year. And I hope your baby's better now. Finally, I want to congratulate all the recipients of these trophies tonight. And I have a sneaky feeling it's not going to be as one-sided as it was last year. We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgiani Pillay. He did refer to our coaches, Rivash and Mfuneku. And before we break for dinner, a little bit of fun on stage. We'll have our two coaches going through an overview of the season from their point of view. Rivash is going to be particularly interesting because he was assistant coach when we started, and then when Mali got moved up to the Proteas midstream, he took over. And of course, what a pleasure to welcome back Mfuneku and Gum. Gummy's been at Fort Hare and been coaching elsewhere. Nice to have him back with the team. They will be chatting too, and I'd like to call him up to the stage. Has he got a roving mic? Neil, if you could just make sure we've got one, please. A man who is probably one of the most knowledgeable cricketers, cricket folk in South Africa. If you don't believe me, ask him, he'll tell you. He has impeccable taste when it comes to supporting football teams, and he is an absolute thief on a golf course off a 15 handicap. Do not take the bait, but please welcome Shafiq Abrams. And then joining Shafiq, Rivash, if we could have you come up as well, please, and Mfuneku. I don't know what's going to happen next. Give them a round of applause, please, folks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Juffrou Charmaine Williams. Charmaine taught me at school, so I have to get that out every time we're in an official function, just to make sure that she still remembers those days when we were much thinner. This feels like a morning meeting in the offices up at St. George's Park now, so it's going to be easy. I'm going to ask the coach just to reflect back. He was thrown, I think, a hospital pass in December when he had to take over from Mali, when Mali got called up. And Gobs, that first couple of weeks, take us through there.
Firstly, it was a great confidence boost for me to be asked to do it. So that was a great start. Mali's situation sort of escalated really quickly during the season. Normally those things are not a big secret, and you sort of get a heads up a couple of months out as to what's going to happen, but it all happened quite quickly. And firstly, after the initial shock of being asked to do it, settled into the role. Being here the previous season definitely helped. It built up some relationships with the players and with the staff in and around the Warriors, so those connections were there. But working with this group and this squad has been a pleasure from day one, and they made that transition very easy for me.
I'm going to welcome Gummy back. Gummy, take us back to just the start, where it all started for you. We spoke about it, we laughed about it the other day, about the days at Aberdeen. I don't think many people in this room knows those days.
Good evening, everyone. It started back when I played for Aberdeen, where Shafiq was part of the team. And Aberdeen, they used to pick me up in Motherwell. So I used to have a driver, a guy who goes home and pick me up and go and play the game. And then the driver will sit there the whole day and wait until the game finishes, and then he takes me home again. So coming back home, with Chef and assisting Gobes, for me it's exciting. And Butando did mention earlier on that in Alice and Hogsback, that's where I used to stay in Hogsback. It's very cold. It's probably snowing now. So what I used to do is especially during now, so I used to work hard so that I don't feel that cold. And I know the president normally comes in there without even saying he's coming, just to check if things are happening. So, yeah, maybe that's why we've produced few players for the Warriors.
Yeah, we gotta just let the players know we're gonna take them back there for pre-season. We're gonna spend a lot of time in the Eastern Cape, so we're gonna get them a bit of the Eastern Cape culture, Mr. President. So you can come and check if we're there. Going back to Rivash and to Gami, maybe just a few words of what's been happening now and what's laying ahead in the future, just cricket-wise.
Yeah, it's been great to have Gami on board. He brings a lot of experience. I remember when he moved to Durban as well to play for the KZN Dolphins as it was there. Big imposing presence, which he still is, but with a massive heart and a lot of care for his players. And that's been plain for me to see in the last few weeks that we've been working together. Gami's been looking after our bowlers that are going to go on that A tour. Sisanda and Anrik these last few weeks, doing some great work with them. He's been up to Joburg as well. They're part of the elite fast bowling group. And obviously the reports that we're getting back have been very positive, and we can definitely see his influence on those two young guys.
Yeah, Gami, just what's the plans for these youngsters? Who can we look forward to playing for the Proteas soon? What in the group that we've got here?
Well, Chef, for me, it's been exciting, though, working with these guys. When I was working at Forte, so we used to watch the Warriors on TV. And whenever Warriors are playing, so we'll all sit in the TV room. And we'll probably watch Jerry most of the time. But, you know, so we supported the Warriors. And what was said for me, though, was that most of the players that I worked with, they didn't think that they could play for the Warriors. Some of them thought, well, nah, I won't play for the Warriors. I'll either go Northerns, elsewhere, whatever. And now seeing the plans that the Warriors will be spending, like a week in Alice, training there at Forte, for me it's exciting. So I cannot wait to see, because what we're trying to do now is to bring the Warriors to the people and for the guys to see where all these black Africans come from and experience the culture, because we're probably going to play 1 or 2 games at Ngumbela Park, which has got a beautiful ground there.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, that we definitely not just taking the Warriors into the Eastern Cape, but I think closer to the people of PE and East London. That's going to be one of the challenges. And I just want to throw it back to the coach just to wrap up, is to just the things that we spoke about in the office there. What are the plans for the northern areas, for the townships in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's about reigniting that belief that wherever you are in the Eastern Cape, whatever township, city, little suburb you come from, you have a pathway to the top in this wonderful game of ours. And I feel that sometimes as a young kid, boys and girls, all it needs is that for that dream to be kept alive. And I want our presence to be a lot more visible in these areas. We're going to do a lot more social engagements with clubs, with schools, with communities. And the players buy into that as well. There's been a lot of chat. We're very excited as a group about it. And we see it as a big responsibility. We get tremendous support from everyone in this room and the public at large. And that doesn't go unnoticed. On a match day, we feel it at St. George's. We feel it at Buffalo Park. People are singing, the band is playing. And there's a wonderful connection that the people have with this team. And I think it's something that we don't want to take for granted, and we want to foster and grow going forward. And for us in this preseason, that's going to be a big driver.
I just want to thank the two gentlemen. I think the speeches before us took up some time, so we'll have to get through a few more. Thanks, Gami, and thanks, Gobs.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, last one for the first half before we get a comfort break and dinner is served. We would like you to cast your eyes onto the big screen and feel free to cheer for your favorites as we announce your Warriors squad for the 2018-2019 season as announced.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Simba Luende. Simon Harmer. Sisanda Magala and Yassine Valley.
Thank you, folks. All we need is for the skipper, John Smuts, to say grace. Main course will be served, and we'll catch up with proceedings, the formal part of the proceedings, in about half an hour from now. John, if I could call you forward, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask you all to please bow our heads? Lord, I thank you for bringing us all here together for this special occasion. I thank you for blessing us with a very special evening and a historic evening as well. I ask you to please bless the hands that prepared the food for us tonight and bless it to our bodies. In your name, amen.
Music, by the way, if you haven't picked it up, is by our very own St. George's Park Band. They have scaled down a little for the sake of the intimate venue, but it's fantastic to have them here with us this evening. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very, very much. Your St. George's Park band, scaled down especially for our awards dinner this evening. Much appreciated. Great to have you here. And folks, time for us to pick it up after dinner. Hopefully you've enjoyed yours. If you're still eating, never mind. We do just have to make 2 additions to that Warriors squad that was announced before the dinner break. Technical gremlins abound, and 2 names missing from that list: Sinatembe Kleshile and Sitembile Langa, added to the names that you saw on the audio visual just before the dinner break. So please do make a note of those. Sinatembe Kleshile and Sitembile Langa, also part of the Warriors squad for 2018-2019. We now move on to the awards proper, and we start with your Sunfoil series. It's still regarded as the premier form of domestic cricket, and it was a super return for the Warriors this year. Only, how shall I put this? Some manipulation when it came to the final round of fixtures, which were weather affected, and by manipulation I mean innings being forfeited and the like. It was only because of gamesmanship like that that the Warriors ended up in 2nd place on the log by less than 1.5 points, trailing the Titans. So it really was a fantastic return from our players, and I'm pleased to announce it was something that was recognized nationally as well, as we saw Simon Harmer win the Cricket South Africa Cricketer of the Series for the Sunfoil series. For the Warriors prizes, Shafiq, if I might trouble you to come and assist me with the handing over again, and then as and when it's necessary, you can grab one of them by the collar and have a word on the couch. We start with your batting award for Sunfoil series, 4-day cricket. And the winner, who is not here, is in the UK. Please, would you give it up for Colin Ackerman? Colin's in-laws will be collecting the prizes on his behalf. Thank you, Colin. He got the batting award for the Sunfoil series, 4-day cricket. We're on to bowling. I don't think it's going to come as a surprise. As I said, he was honoured at national level as well, and he's also currently playing over in the UK. The winner is Simon Harmer. We also move on to the player of the series. Andrew Birch collecting on behalf of Simon Harmer. Make sure he gets it, please, Birchie. Your 4-day cricket Sunfoil series player of the series overall is also Simon Harmer. We now move on to the 50-ball cricket. White ball cricket, and this is where we won the trophy. Technically, we shared it with the Dolphins, but we know we would have beaten them if the game had been played. So congratulations to our team on that trophy, bringing it home to the Eastern Cape, and congratulations also to the individual winners for the Momentum Series. And we start with the batting award. I'm so glad he's won this because I'm going to say his name properly for the first time ever. Jihan Kluter. John, I'm not sure if Warriors cricket culture has anything along the lines of a captain's run, the way rugby teams do, where the captain sets out what the training regime for a particular day is. But if you do, I think it's incumbent on me to advise you that in a recent interview on my show, I asked Jihan Kluter which batsman in your team is most likely to run you out. And he said, John Smuts. I'm just saying. All right, we're gonna get a few others up here to join us. We'll go to the bowling award next. Momentum 50 overs. The bowling award goes to a guy who absolutely everyone in the team says will win an arm wrestle competition, Sisanda Magala. And on to the 50-over cricket player of the series, and the winner there, oh, this should be fun on stage, John Smuts. All yours.
Okay. Can we just drop the music? I
There
can't
we go.
sing. I
There we
actually
go.
can't sing. Yeah, I can't sing. But these three gentlemen will have to sing for their suppers here. I'm going to start with John Smuts. I'm going to take you back to the 4-day competition. I think the judge alluded to that last over, 2 balls, 2 wickets, and that last wicket. First of all, you've got to tell us, why did you decide to bowl the last over?
The only reason was bad luck. I was the only second spinner who could bowl from the other side. Simon is voting from one side, so I was kind of the have to go to option, even though everyone considers me as a SEMA.
So you were the second best, the second option.
I was the only option left, I should say.
Yeah, so that last, if I think we've got the analysis or the analyst view of that last delivery on the video. So we will have a look at it, and you guys have to take us through this because there was a lot of running afterwards. I want to know who ran the wrong way, first of all, if we're going to look at this. Can you just play that clip for us? The last ball of the 4-day competition. So, that was probably the most nerve-wracking game that I've watched. I watched it on Cricinfo. I wasn't at the game, so I watched it on Cricinfo. And on the website, it said it was a draw. So I was like very upset. And then when I spoke to one of the guys later on, they said, no, we won the game. And they only updated the website like a few hours later. So who ran the wrong direction? First of all, how many players were around the bat? Everyone around the bat.
Everyone around the bat.
And who ran the wrong way?
Aya.
Aya, but you go the wrong way, boss. Aya ran home because he lived there.
But he still got to everyone else before most of everyone else anyway, so he just took the long way around, that's all.
The funniest thing of that clip is the look on Shamsi's face, because he stood there, everyone ran away, and the camera stayed on him. And his face, I mean, can we play that clip again? Just watch his face, the batsman's face. And it's nice if it's the Titans as well. Check the poor guy. He's just standing there. No clue what has just happened. John, let's get back to the 50 over competition. Your form with bat and ball, I mean, it's just ridiculous that you're not in the Protea setup, but we're going to get that sorted out soon. We'll have to make a few phone calls and step on a few toes. But are you happy with the way your form has gone and the way the team played, especially the second half of the season?
Yeah, look, I thought after call it a tough T20 competition where we didn't play our best cricket, we fought really hard and showed glimpses to kind of turn the tide for the one-day competition where we played some seriously good cricket. I thought our bowling attack was exceptional. You know, generally in a competition you have 2 or 3 performers in batting and bowling, but I thought our bowling attack was unbelievable throughout the whole campaign. If you look at the scorecard, the amount of scores we chased, where it was chasing a 200 or a 220 score, makes life a lot easier as a batsman. And then obviously our batters, led by Gian up front, had a great season as well. I thought the way we played, the aggressive manner, the freedom in which Gobes gave us, and the way we executed was superb.
I'm going to go to Cici. The captain spoke about your bowlers. Bowling at the death, it looks like you like that ball, the white ball in your hand when you have to bowl death stuff.
Yeah, it is a little bit daunting in the first, like when the first time you do it, but yeah, you just have to want it, eh? But yeah, it's also a great opportunity to get lots of wickets. So if you see it as you're going to get hit out the park, yes, people do watch cricket to see the ball go out the stadium, but yeah, you can get some extra sticks there if you really want it, yeah.
I've got a fitness question because you guys have been fit tested. They actually came in on Monday to do their fitness test, and the trainer was very lenient to them. He postponed it because of the cold and the wind. How was that on Tuesday? How did it go?
In the words of Brad King, it was tough.
Was it tough? I've got a funny question to everyone, but you can have a go at whoever you want to. But whose music do you guys listen to in the change room? The most?
It definitely has to be Bash. His playlist is still the same since he started playing for EP, so his playlist doesn't change at all, so yeah.
Okay, let's get to Gian. I want to get to Gian. Who's the best dressed player in the Warriors setup?
Excuse me?
The best dressed.
best dressed probably be Clyde because we were roommates, so he used to dress my clothes.
I really thought you were going to say me, but now you gave it to Clyde because he was wearing your clothes. Anyway, let's get back to the cricket stuff. I was very impressed the way you finished off your season. In December, when I joined the Warriors, you were almost like in a space there. And what changed it for you? What clicked? What made a difference? Because you couldn't stop scoring runs.
Excuse me?
You couldn't stop scoring runs.
It's probably just a pattern that I found. We always in cricket speak about the way we need to take it back and start over. And as cliche as it is, I think it's very true. And as I said earlier in the season, the change of coaches, it really, because obviously, as we said, Mali left us half of the season, and Mali was part of the building bracket of it, and then Gobes obviously took over, and Gobes gave me a lot of confidence, and with assisting that guys like John Senior players in the team also helped me fulfill a senior role. And then when Colin Ingram left as well, I remember there was something mentioned of we're not senior players in the team anymore, and everyone needs to stand up. And it makes you feel part of the team when you actually start doing well for the team.
Yeah, and you stood up, and a call up to the SAA side. You're looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's obviously another challenge playing in India's tough conditions. But as Gob said earlier, with the bowlers being started training, I also started training this week. And another guy that I mentioned earlier, Colin Ingram, was I did a couple of sessions with him a week ago, and he's helped me with the tours that he was there before I went there, and he's helped me a lot with confidence in just the way we think.
Thanks, guys. We've got a few more to get through here, so the abuse is going to come from the next lot to you now.
Thank you very much, Sisanda, Gian, John. And folks, can I place on record that Bashir Walters' music doesn't only get played in the Warriors change room. He is the one player who will make a point when they're batting to pop into the PA box as well and say, "Sadai CD in, put this one in." So you're quite often hearing his selection going out over the stadium PA as well. We move on to the Ram Slam T20. We ended up finishing in 4th place on the log, and we lost our semi-final, as Judge Ronnie pointed out, to a Titans team that could very well have held their own in the international circuit, given the riches of talent that were available to them. But I will say one thing about that T20 campaign. That gave me more grey hairs than... There was a match there that gave me more grey hairs than any other the whole season, and that was the one-run win over the Dolphins at St. George's. I was absolutely beside myself. I would have felt a lot worse if we'd lost by 1 run. But guys, don't do that again, please. T20 cricket, let's find out who wins the batting award. We'll start there. Oh, and it's well deserved in a season which saw him called up to the national side as well, Christian Jonker. From batting to bowling, your T20 Bowling Award for this season, Andrew Birch. Well done, Birchie. We move on to the last of our T20 awards, the overall player of the series, and he won't have far to walk, Christian Jonker. To join them on stage, not T20, but it's a separate award made every year to the most promising player of the year. Your most promising warrior for the last season, the award goes to Anrich Nortje.
Well done. Het lijkt als men Afrikaans praat hier zo. Dan zit Anna en Jonkie, so Birchie isn't lost though. So maybe we must start with Birchie and get the English out the way. I think not a lot of people in this room will know your story. I saw you running there now, and it took me back to varsity when you had that horrible thing on the beachfront. Just tell people what happened there. It was probably one of the biggest things I walked into ever in my life, but I mean, it must have been worse for you.
Yeah, it wasn't a great thing. I just came back from Cape Town. I was playing cricket in the Western Cape for Western Province, and Russell Domingo was then the EP coach here, and he asked me to come back as the franchise was going to come back to PE, and then he would then sign me on the following year. So I got back here in January of the year, 2005, and played one game for EP. We played in Potch against Northwest. Got back home on the Monday, and then on the Wednesday night, I was walking across the road. So this is the 4th of February, on the Wednesday night, walking across the road on the beachfront at the aquarium. And a car jumped the Red Robot and hit me while I was talking to Michael Price, who was an ex-Warriors player. I was busy talking to him, didn't see the car coming, and hit me from the side. And I woke up in hospital the next day with my leg up in a sling. Didn't really know what had happened, and I thought I'd been in a car accident, and thought a mate of mine actually was killed. But luckily he wasn't, and it was just me that was lying there. But anyway, yeah, so I shattered both the tib and the fib, and my ligaments in my knee and my ankle were both grade 3 tears. But luckily I had 2 years off cricket for that all to repair. I then had an external fixator put in my leg, which was the best thing ever. But in that time, I managed to get down to the varsity and study a bit, and it gave me a good perspective on life. And yeah, I sort of grew up a bit in those 2 years, as I was 19 years old when that happened. So effectively, I had 2 years out of cricket. So I might be over 30 now, but I'm 2 years behind my peers. So I'm a lot younger than I look.
That's why you're still running in like that. I just wanted to get that story out because not a lot of people are aware of it. And it's just also for the rest of the Warriors. I mean, I think the youngsters won't know that story as well. So take us back into the present now, through all the hardships of all the frustrations and the meetings with me to tell me that you should be playing for the Warriors and they didn't pick you. And here you're playing now, pushing to play for the Proteas, I think. And to me, from that moment in the hospital to now, I mean, that must be an amazing journey. So I want the rest of the team to know that whenever they see you run in like that, and appreciate where you've come from.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, lying in the hospital bed there, I remember the doc coming to speak to me, and obviously at that stage I just started playing cricket, and that was my ambitions were to be a professional player. And I remember him saying to me, listen, you're going to have to work hard because it's quite a serious break. And yeah, we just hope we can get you back to where you were before. But anyway, that took a lot of hard work. And luckily, Shaf, you and Shabazz were there, helped me through that little time and got me to study. But always in the back of my mind, I always had the vision of playing professional cricket and representing my country, which I still do. So yeah, that kept on driving me, and it has always driven me to fight and I think that's what this franchise is about. It's about fighting and about achieving a lot more than what people set out for us to do. So, and I think we've done that as a squad. We're in a really good position, really good space as a squad at the moment. We fight hard every time we go out there. You can't question anyone's passion, anyone's commitment to the team, and it's awesome to see. So I can only look forward to the future and for more trophies to come the way of the Warriors.
So you're the senior pro now. I'm going to go pass the mic there to the youngster. He's probably going to have to take over soon all that responsibilities. Anna, ons gaan Engels praat vanaand, chom. So let us just start with Anna in December. When I started there, he was all over the place. He came to me, said, Oom. And I said, ek is jou oomie. He said, partykeer nou nog oom. But vat ons 'n bietjie, take us through that first couple of months in the Warriors setup, the frustrations, and now where you are settled into that side and the season you've had from December.
Ja.
Jy kan Afrikaans praat as jy wil, mense verstaan.
Bet you won't understand. Yeah, coming in or starting the season, it was frustrating from the part that I didn't really do exactly what I wanted to. I was up. I had a lot of ups and downs, and starting the T20 campaign, I was really frustrated. I think that's when you came in, and just to be on the bench, I would rather have been playing EP or not be a part than being touring with the team the whole time, rooming with Yonki, and not playing at all. So that was quite tough. But at the end, got my opportunity. I think Birchie was away on leave.
Maternity leave.
Maternity leave.
Maternity
leave, sorry. Yeah. But he's all right now. Yeah, so he was away and I got my opportunity and just took it from there on, and luckily I stayed in the team. Gobes also backed me a little bit there at the end, and it was just nice going on from there, carrying that into the 4-day competition. Wickets were a little bit better at the end as well, and just taking that momentum. And yeah, at the end of the day, we worked so hard for everything, and it just paid off at the end. Yeah, not really a lot more.
Not a lot of people will know that you a graduate, did a postgrad in financial planning for a fast bowler. Hulle het gewoonlik die brainsie. So a fast bowler with brains, that's very rare. Take us through that. How did you manage all of that?
It's quite similar to Birch. Yeah, I had a lot of injuries, and I was forced to study. I was actually doing BCom RAT, and I just thought this is not going to work for me if I want to go into cricket as well. And I switched to financial planning, and I think it started off with a little bit of injury here and there, and then I got into the habit of just studying the whole time when I had to. And yeah, last year I tried to keep myself busy and also did the postgrad. Luckily it was only block week, so it was 1 week per term, which was quite nice. And yeah, this year I'm taking a little bit of a break.
Good. Laaste vraag. Who's the best rugby player in the squad?
Is this where I nominate myself?
No. You see, that's where I wanted to go. So it's Yedi Bester.
We always play soccer, so that's very hard to judge.
And who's the best soccer player then?
Probably Vali.
Mo. Okay. Thanks, Anna. Laat ons hier na die groot man kom. Jonkie, there was always one question I wanted to ask him, and I think a lot of people as well. Yonkie's debut for the Proteas, he's on 49, there's one ball left, and he still plays for the team. Why?
Yeah.
Why did you get one and get 50 not out?
Been getting that question a lot lately. Yeah, obviously, in that moment, I think you don't even think about it. I just try and get the score, like maybe in close, just losing by a run, because losing by 7 runs looks worse than losing by 1 run. But yeah, miss it, then end of the day, you're going to 49. But normally, I just do what I can do for the team. Eh?
Proper team man. Take us through the bowlers that's the easiest to hit for 6, because it just looks like they all can go over the boundary. I want a few names, and let's start in our squad. Who do you fancy the best in the squad, first of all?
I'm not going to comment on that, because then next season I will get a lot of bounces.
But that's where we want to go.
I think all of my bowlers are good bowlers, good depth bowlers, they're good lengths.
I'm going to wind them up anyway.
No, I save it for the games against the opponents.
Who's the most difficult one then in the squad to face? Who don't you like to face?
You always get our seam bowlers with the new balls where Birch is swinging the ball away, CC and Anna angling the ball back in your body. Nobody gets to like hit on the inner thighs, on the chest. But yeah, each bowler got their different traits which they're good in. So yeah, I'm guessing that's why we're so successful in the campaigns.
And looking forward, have you still got plans to get back into that Protea side?
Yes, obviously it's going to be the next year is going to be very important for me as an individual. There's obviously like World Cups coming up. So what I just want to do is still do what I do best for the team, play for the Warriors, be successful in that way. Yeah, just focus on my individual, playing for the teams, and if we can win trophies, it means I can do better and more players in our team will be successful achieving South African achievements.
I also asked people on social media to ask you a question. The one little kid wanted to know, have you got a new shot, an area that you're going to hit 6s into? Are you going to let us know now?
Basically, as everybody knows that plays with me and against me, that I play leg side, but my leg side starts from over cover to backward deep square legs.
So your question on sport would be, who's the best golfer in the squad? And it's obvious why I'm asking you.
I haven't been playing with Birchie recently, but mostly with John, and I don't know, with that swing, how he can be a 4 handicap. He's actually a very good partner to play with in competitions.
So is he like myself on a 15 that plays very well?
We call him the ringers, yeah.
Okay, so John the best.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. We'll have to catch up with a few more. Thanks for your time. And Anna, volgende keer is ons Afrikaans, jong.
Thank you, Heinrich. Andrew, Christian. Sitembile, Matthew, and Luto. Next men for a shave. Could you step forward and join us on stage, please? Shafiq has a couple of questions he'd like you to answer. It's like kids coming to the headmaster's office. Look at that.
Yo, these youngsters are putting the senior guys under pressure here for best dressed. Luto, looking good there.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Sure. The guys clean up nicely, man. Let's start with you. National Academy, how's it going there?
No, it's a great experience. You get exposed to a lot of good facilities up there in Pretoria, and we work hard in general. A lot of running, jeepers. They wake us up at 6 a.m. on a Monday morning to run a 5K. But nonetheless, I'm enjoying the experience, and I'm doing quite well with Mali as well.
Yeah, just go through you at NMU at the moment. Varsity cricket, how's that going?
It's great. I'm obviously studying as well, so trying to balance the two is quite tough. But I'm enjoying it. The camaraderie there at NMU is great. Players, playing with the boys there, it's always fun, and you just enjoy it every single morning.
What are you studying?
I'm doing a BCom in economics and business management.
Have you spoken to Anna?
Yeah, I've spoken here and there, but I'm not in great in depth. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. The tail enders, who are the best batsmen, do you think, in the squad from the bowlers now?
So you're saying the batting?
Yeah, whose batting is the best of the bowlers, of the fast bowlers?
Not to shoot anyone down, but I think it's a tough one.
Who's the worst? Who's the worst
No, let's
batter?
go with the best. So it's a tough one.
Okay, tell me who's the worst.
The
Check how
worst.
Langa's looking at you.
I'd rather say the best, though, Chef. Please. I'll probably say the best. Tough one between Magala and Birchie. But
No, they're all rounders. I'm talking about the out-and-out bowlers, the tail enders, boss. Langa's luring you. He's checking you out here.
I'll go Anna. Anna can hit a long
Anna,
ball,
okay. Pass it on to Langa. I want to get him in. Langa, you new boy on the block. Tell us a little bit where you're from. I mean, the PE folk want to know a little bit more about you.
Evening, everyone. I'm Stembili Langa. I'm from Dansane, a township outside East London, and I've been playing for Podia.
How have the welcome been in the squad here? I see you guys have just been running around, gymming, all of those things. How has it been settling into the squad?
I would say for me it's been difficult because I'm new in this setup and I haven't been experiencing quad training like this in the border setup. So it's been difficult, but Drickers was helping me.
So Dickus is the man who's chasing you guys. Yeah. That's good. Who's your best mate now? You're almost like whenever you get into a new squad, you always lean to someone. Who's the guy?
I would say it's Aya because I've been close with him since I was in Hudson Park Primary and he was in high school. So I used to watch him at Hudson High. So we became mates since then.
So Aya's looking after you.
Yeah.
In every sense of it, eh? And what does the future hold for you? What are you looking forward to the season? What is the plans? What are your goals?
My goals is that I want to play all the formats for the Warriors, and that all comes from the hard work that you put in. So if I do what I have to do, then everything will just be a bonus.
Yeah, good luck and keep working on. Let's pass it on to Matt. Matt, we're going to go back to your Under-19 World Cup. Just take us back there, the experience that you had over there with the rest of your mates, and then we'll ask a few more questions later on.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I think as people may know that we didn't do as well as we wanted to. Me individually as well, just, certain factors play its role. But yeah, otherwise, off the field, New Zealand's just a great place, and really did enjoy that place.
You also at the National Academy. How did you find it so far?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. I haven't worked or had an off season yet for the last, say, 3 years. So to work hard on my skills and my gym work, it's been really good.
What have you specifically been working on so far?
Well, we're going to Sri Lanka now in August, so we've been working on a lot of playing spin, so sweeping and coming, using your feet. We've been working on all kinds of things like that.
So would you prefer fast bowlers coming at you or spinners?
Fast bowlers.
So that's why you got to work on that. So Anna can come hard at you this nets. You're not gonna worry about that. You're gonna worry more about the spinners, Alma, John.
Yeah.
And your experience, you haven't had much time with the team. They just came back, the two guys from the National Academy, on Monday. So they didn't have much time with the squad. But who do you think is the funniest in the squad?
I think everyone's answer would be the same. Probably Gian Klutter.
And why would you say that?
I think most people can identify that for themselves.
So Gian wins that hands down. Not best dressed. He claims that he could be best dressed though.
I disagree. I think, yeah, I disagree with that too.
So who do you think should be the best dressed in the team?
I think the best dressed is probably Lutol.
I also think so. Lucas, just stand up there. Just shows everyone what you look like. Check at this. Look at that. No, definitely. Okay, guys, any funny stories that you want to share with us, Matt, that happened on that under-19 tour? You can. The guys are not here.
I don't have any.
Are you sure? Langa, you got a funny story for us?
No, Shafiq, I don't have.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Who do you think is the funniest here? You've spent more time with the team now than, and don't say Gian.
But I was also going to go with Gian.
No, then his hands down. So Gian wins that funniest competition ever, but Luther wins best dressed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Shafiq. Shafiq Abrams, our guest MC this evening. Please don't start doing this for a living, because you're going to put me out of a job. Thank you, Shafiq. All that remains, folks, is for the Cricketer of the Year to be announced. Then also Mr. Mark Williams with the official thanks. And what we do have to ask is every single prize winner, it's of vital importance that we get you on the carpet at the entrance for the official photographs, please. Every single person who did win a prize, we appreciate your cooperation. Once we've done the Cricketer of the Year and we've had the thanks from Mr. Williams, dessert will be served. And then you're welcome to socialize at your leisure. So ladies and gentlemen, it's here in the envelope, the 2017-2018 Warriors Cricketer of the Year. This is the big award. It'll be handed over by Judge Ronnie Pillay. Thank you. John Smuts. Congratulations, Skipper. Well done. John Smuts, our Player of the Year for 2017-2018. And he's waking up early for his sins tomorrow morning. He'll be joining me on Algoa FM at around 7:45. Make sure you tune in. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been a fantastic audience. I know it's cold. Thank you for coming out. Thanks for staying. I'd like to hand over to Mr. Williams now for the official closing.
So mine is quite simple. To thank all that has graced us this evening. Thank you, MC. As always, you're on the mark. I'll start off with thanking the people that we celebrating here this evening, which is our players, and not forgetting their spouses or the partners. Award winners, John, well done. Second year round, and all other award winners. I think this one, for me, our coaching staff, when the news came with Malabongwe's promotion, I would call it, I want to thank him in his absence because I think the accolades about the team thus far, that could never happen within a few weeks. So, Malibangwe, Maketa, I think I'd like us to give him a round of applause in his absence. Having said that, Rivash, you came in, and honestly speaking, at times I was put in that I've almost had to be the man in the box with you, and not having an assistant, but you came through for us. You and of course Trickers and came through to us, and thank you for you and your guidance and your leadership in the team. I think you've done well. The kind of angles that you took with the teams and how you selected the teams. I think it would be remiss of me not to thank our pipeline teams, the coaches. I see Pete Porter here for EP, and of course our border teams, both president of EP and border. Thank you for the teams, because the Warriors are made up of two feeder teams, the Eastern Province team, who was basically located in Nelson Mandela Bay, and then of course the border teams that basically located in East London. Presidents, I really appreciate the support that you've given our teams. I think the stadiums, both stadiums, I see the stadium managers are here. I would like the stadium managers to rise, because these are the people that actually make our stadiums for our team to play. I want our Buffalo Park stadium manager to rise, and our St. George's Park stadium manager to rise. These are the people that makes the facility playable. Thank you very much, guys. Please send it through to, Bev I see here. Thank you guys for making our facilities so enjoyable for the team. Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. Councillor, I say this slowly. I really thank you for the support. Please pass this on to our mayor committee, as well as to council. We do not take it for granted that you've provided funding for EP. Of course, then we send that on to the Warriors, to the Sports Directorate, the two ladies. Has been a wonderful support to us. I thank you very much for your guidance and the leadership you have. The city contributed over a period of time, in totality, 18 million rand for cricket and almost 40 million rand for the facility at St. George's Park. Now that needs a round of applause. Thank you very much. To our sponsors, Radio Goa, Goa FM. To our kit sponsors, Fane. I see his left, Maritz. During the course of the year, he also contributed in his absence. He is a lighting company in Cape Town. The suppliers that we onboarded for this evening, the Tramways Building, thank you. Inspirational Decor, Bellingham Wines and Boshovdal Champagne, Knockout Branding, Paper Master Printing, Venue Decor, and for the live streaming, Vodacom. Thank you for those sponsors and well-doers. To the shareholders of the Warriors, Border Cricket and EP Cricket, presidents, would you mind passing that over to our shareholders and the board of directors? To my own board at Cricket Eastern Cape, led by Judge Ronnie Pillay. Judge, I'm grateful that you made your way. I apologize for you sleeping alone tonight, but you would concur. It's important that we round up this event that people said we're never going to have, with you saying a word or two. Thank you, and pass our thankful to your Mrs. Pillay as well. And of course, to the rest of the board of directors. For the organizers, guests coming out, especially Christine and Nadia, thank you for setting up such a lovely atmosphere. I know it's cold, so I'm going to be short by saying thank you, Warriors, thank you, guests, and hope to see you at the stadium. Thank you.
It just feels like something's missing. Dessert is going to be served. The night is yours.